GOP Senator Marco Rubio sits on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and joins us now. Senator, it's still coming. They're laughing at us. Essentially, this guy's making money off this caravan, and he's saying, what is wrong with America? How frustrating it is for you.
Well, it's very frustrating because, in fact, our intelligence agencies, our government does know that there are governments in the region that are actively pushing people in this direction. For example, Nicaragua is monetizing it, right? Nicaragua says you can travel, you can fly into Nicaragua without a visa. And so people fly in from Cuba up until the other day, from Haiti, from other places, and then, they're facilitating the route. We know that the leftist president of Colombia is actively pushing Venezuelan migrants to leave Colombia, facilitating that, pushing them towards the United States. So we know that governments up and down the region are doing that. We know for a fact that there are trafficking networks with links to terrorism that are in the business of moving and trafficking people for money. It's how they raise money for terrorism. But of course, it's logical to conclude that if they use that, if that's their business to make money, if they're a rent-a-car agency and you rent cars to make money, why wouldn't you rent a car or give a car for free to a terrorist? Since you're a terrorist organization, they're in that business. It would easily translate to them helping terrorists get into the country as well. It is a calamity. They are turning America into a refugee camp, and it has to stop. This is not this is a mass migration event bordering on an invasionary event, and they're allowing it. Biden is encouraging it, and he's allowing it, and now he wants billions of dollars more to make the process move even faster.
And he's got his mayors let out to dry because cities are outraged. They don't have the money for these people. I mean, Senator, I don't know the last time you've been to New York, but they're now handing people tents and telling them to head to the park. The hotels are all filled with illegals. Prostitution is overwhelming Queens with these illegals because they have nothing to do. They think the process would be getting them jobs. Only 1% of the illegal immigrants showed up for a job interview, so they don't want to work. This is a self-inflicted, devastating wound to America.
Understand that no country in the world would tolerate this. None. So right now, in the Middle East, in the middle of a war, Egypt has said, we stand with the Palestinian people, but not a single one of them is coming into, or not a single refugee is going to live in the Sinai. So they've sent military tanks. They've sent weaponry to block Palestinian entering the Sinai, okay? And Jordan has said the same thing. They're not allowing refugees. No country in the world allows mass migration except for Western countries like some in Europe that now regret it, and increasingly the United States. We are talking, this is not an immigration issue. This is a mass migration. It is chaos, it is uncontrolled, and of course they're winding up in cities. They have to live somewhere. And I made the point the other night, okay, last year, I'm just using one number, 900,000 people confronted at the border, released to the United States. If just 1/10% of those people are terrorists, that's 900 terrorists. You only need a few terrorists to do a lot of damage. Imagine 900 of them, and that's just in 1 year. And the Biden administration is not just allowing this, they are encouraging it through their behavior. And the reason why they don't stand up to it is because if they do, they have the left radical wing of their party that will rebel and revolt, people that believe that anyone who wants to come here should be allowed to come here no matter how they come here and be allowed to stay forever. Yeah. And it is a radical view, but it is basically dictating their policy.
Well, good. They've alienated a lot of people. It's going to make it easy for Republicans to win elections. You are also focused on what's happening with Israel. And you're also seeing some of the riots and the anti-Semitic activities that are taking place here. You are introducing a bill to ban federal tax dollars to pro-terrorist activities on college campuses, many of which are Ivy League. How is this going to be implemented?
Well, first of all, it angers me to see these things happening on our campuses. It outrages me to understand we've paid for it. And so what this bill does is it says no federal dollars, and there are billions of federal dollars that go to institutes of higher learning in this country. No federal dollars can be used to promote or support events designed to further the work or support the work of a foreign terrorist organization as designated by the Department of State, which includes Hamas and Hezbollah and others. And it also says if you are a supporter of these groups, or if you're advocating that others support these groups or their aims and goals, it is an automatic disqualifier for federal financial aid. So you're a student, you're on financial aid, and you're out there supporting Hamas, supporting Hezbollah, calling for the eradication of Jews, driving them out of the Middle East. It becomes an automatic disqualifier for federal financial aid. You have a right to those opinions if you're an American. You don't have a right to federal financial aid, and you don't have a right to have us pay for you to go to school and go harass Jewish students and support anti-American, anti-Semitic terrorist organizations as designated by a Department of State right here in the United States. Our universities have become dens of terrorist support.
Senator, go right to Senator Schumer and said, I need a co-signer, and then you'll get this thing passed. Senator Marco Rubio, thank you so much. Coming up next.